Welcome back, gals and ghouls. Thank you for joining us. You'll be hearing this on Wednesday. We're recording it on Friday. I have just found out that the great Chuck Norris has passed away at 86.
Oh, man. So death has finally had a Chuck Norris experience.
Yep. As my husband likes to say, or what he's been seeing people say, it's death didn't take him. Chuck Norris just said, all right, I had enough. Let's go.
Yeah, the internet circa 2005 is in shambles.
Where
the ghoulies spill the tea.
So jumping on to our topic of today, where we are discussing our tales from the internet.
Ooh, spooky.
We are hitting up tales from retail.
Uh-oh, that is one of the scariest topics on the planet.
That they are. Lady Mel, have you ever worked retail?
So, the closest I have come to working retail was when I was working in my college's library, and it was my job to just be at the desk and check out books. Checking out books he didn't need was one of the ways my future husband would flirt with me.
Wait. I thought it was trying to razzle and dazzle you in theater.
I mean, the funny thing, he just kind of kept showing up in places where I was, and I thought, that's a coincidence. It wasn't a coincidence.
Man planned it, same way I did it with my husband.
Hey, you know what? It worked, though.
That it did. He still tells the story as if I was stalking him, though.
So, while I have not worked retail as extensively as you have, I sadly do not have as many stories as I could share from that sphere. But you, as we recall, survived working at Walmart.
Oh, that I did.
Do you have another story to tell from that time? I'm curious to hear whether or not you have other sagas you survived. Hopefully none as creepy as the previous one.
I actually do have another story. It's not as creepy. It's a little bit more heartwarming.
You know, I'll take heartwarming. We're gonna get into, honestly, I don't know what we're gonna get into with these stories because I haven't read them yet. You're hearing these reactions live, everybody. So, maybe start off with something heartwarming before we go into the nitty-gritty of it.
Of course. So, this is back when I worked at Walmart. I got called in by loss prevention. And at that time, during that nighttime, the loss prevention was a man.
Question.
Yes.
So, your co-host, co-yapper, who does not work retail, and perhaps some of our listeners have not as well, what, pray tell, is loss prevention?
Loss prevention are employees that dress like casual people. They'll walk the stores and they'll follow people that they've noticed on cameras that have stolen before. Or if they assume that you will steal, and this is kind of the bad part, is they'll follow you around, make sure you're not stealing, and then they'll leave you alone. And they'll walk out the store with you at times. But if you ever walk Walmart or any store in reality, and you notice the same person is ending up in the same aisles as you are, and it's being more consistent than what you assumed it should be, loss prevention's on you.
Interesting. Today I learned.
Yep. So I got called into the office for loss prevention. And I found that weird. I'm like, okay, that's weird. I know this guy is the one working it. Why would they need me to go there? Like, I haven't done shit. I walk in, and there is a young girl. And I'm saying young girl. She's most likely at this time 16, 17. The main reason I know this is because of what she told me after. And what she had stolen, or was trying to steal, was toothbrush, underwear, sanitary objects. And most people know that for loss prevention, if you're caught stealing, you will for certain find you're brought in.
Right.
But they usually tackle people that are stealing non-essential items. I'm not saying you should steal essential items, but like this was a red flag for loss prevention and for me.
Right.
And we were talking to the girl, and I'm there because loss prevention as a male cannot be alone with this young female.
That sounds like a liability issue.
It is a liability issue. So they called me in, and instead of bringing in any other female, the reason they brought me in is because I was the closest to her age.
Oh, I see. So a bit of like a good cop, bad cop situation.
More in a sense to keep her calm and to make her feel secure.
Even better. I like that.
So loss prevention, we did have to call the cops because she was a minor.
Yeah.
Loss prevention was asking her, hey, why? Like, what drove you to do this? Like, I see what you're stealing. Why? And at that time, she had told us that she had a really bad at-home situation. She was technically kicked out, like she's on the streets. And like she was just waiting to be old enough to like join the military.
Oh.
To get out of the situation she's at. And as I'm looking at her, I'm like, it's very bad to assume. And this is my memory's foggy.
Well, I mean, it's been how many years since this happened?
It's been quite a few years, almost 2015, almost 10 years.
Mercy me.
So I'm like, okay, it looks like you recently left. Like you have not been out in the streets for that long period of a time, but that's still like hard. I looked at her, I'm like, have you eaten anything today? And she's like, no, I haven't. I'm actually really hungry. And I'm like, all right. I look at loss prevention. Loss prevention's like, as long as she's with you and she does not stray away from your side or run, she can stay with you. So I told my manager, hey, message my manager, tell them I'm going on break. Because at Walmart, you get 15 minutes break in the morning, you get your lunch, and then 15 minutes before you clock out. So I was taking my first 15 minutes of that starting shift.
Yeah, of your day.
So I took her to the McDonald's that was there. The same McDonald's at...
Yes, that McDonald's.
Yes. And I got her food. And I got myself food because I was like, fuck it, I'll eat with you.
Yeah, might as well. You're on your break.
And like, I just let her vent, but also like helped her like feel secure. Like, hey, like there's other ways to do this. There's other stuff you can do for help. Like if you need someone to talk to, come through here, look for me, and I'll take my 15 minutes and I'll talk with you. And the cops came, they took her, like they were getting that situated. And then she came back, I think a week or two after, and she came looking for me.
Aww.
And like we went back to the McDonald's. I had asked her, hey, do you want to eat something? She's like, no, but I appreciate it. And like she was telling me that everything was getting better. So it looks like there was a crisis, and like due to the fact that she went back with the cops to her home instead of it becoming worse, because sometimes it will get worse.
Right. You can't decide whether or not something will escalate or de-escalate. Sometimes it's out of your hands.
It got better for her.
That's good.
Yeah, and she was telling me that she was figuring everything else out, and like she was more secure now. And so she was thanking me and loss prevention for like stepping in and being there for her. So that's our first heartwarming story of the day.
That was wholesome. Like straight up wholesome. I'm normally not expecting wholesome stories, so that was a nice little start to our evening of tales from retail.
Now, Lady Mel.
Oh, I believe I'm first. And yes, this is in fact from the subreddit Our Tales from Retail. And the story I have been assigned, submitting for the approval of the Midnight Society, is a customer walked past 5 people in line and was genuinely shocked there was a queue. From user RiftWalker27, submitted 2 days ago. All right. This was maybe 3 weeks ago, and I still think about it because of how sincere he seemed about the whole thing. It was a pretty normal Saturday afternoon. We had a decent line going at my register, maybe 5 or 6 people. Nothing crazy, but enough that it was clearly a line. People were standing single file, there was maybe 2 feet between each of them. It was about as obvious as a queue you can have without putting up velvet ropes. This guy walks in, looks around the store for a second, then just walks directly to my register. Not aggressively, not rudely, just very calmly and with complete confidence, like he was walking to an empty counter. He sets his one item down and looks at me ready to go. The woman at the front of the line goes, "Excuse me, there's a line." Very polite, not even annoyed really, just informing him. He looks at her. Then he looks behind her at the other 4 people. Then he looks back at me with this expression like he's genuinely processing new information. "Oh," he says, "I thought they were just like standing there." Just standing there.
I don't believe so.
I'm gonna check my bullshit meter in a second, but yeah, 5 adults in a single file line at a register in a store, just hanging out apparently, just chose this particular spot to stand for no reason. He was super apologetic and went to the back of the line without any fuss, which was genuinely nice. But I couldn't stop thinking about what he thought was happening. Like, what did he think we were all doing? What was his theory? I hope he figured it out.
I think what most likely happened was that he probably thought he could get away with it because he had one item. But when he got called out, he's like, oh, like, he was probably embarrassed himself. It's like, okay, I'll go to the back of the line.
Right. But people in general like to push boundaries. They, something I've been learning in my own like various journeys of, understanding my own neurodiversity and understanding how to like interact with the world with like the neurodiversity I live with. It's like, okay, everybody kind of has their own perception of things in general. And sometimes those perceptions are aligned, many times they are not. And it's really a question of, is your perception aligning with those around you and or reality? And when all of those perceptions are misaligned, that's where the problems start happening. Because it could be likely that this person may just be, having an off day and not paying attention. It could be that they're just trying to get away with what they can get away with. The truth, I feel, is somewhere in the middle.
We're not in that person's shoes, so
we don't know.
Don't know.
We have no idea. That said, what we do know is that there are comments. NYC WHWMNOV50. I saw New York City and just went with the rest of it, bro.
I saw that.
You saw me panic a little bit. It was funny. One day I will take a picture of the kinds of faces I make and we'll put it over here so we can add to the experience. My brother is known to be this clueless. He'll walk into a room where the TV is on and change the channel and then be shocked when people say they were watching something. Does not connect TV on means people watching it. It is so weird to watch, but 50 plus years and he still does it. Because why wouldn't people just be standing there?
Just why wouldn't they be?
Why wouldn't they be? Wade Slade 42 writes, this happens all the time in the pharmacy. One pharmacy I work at even has a roped off area that takes up the entire front of the pharmacy, and it still happens. We have signs telling you where the line is, ropes, and sometimes it's lined with seats beside it too. But several times a day, someone will ignore the line and just walk up to wherever they want expecting to get wrung out. We even have people lining up at the door to the pharmacy sometimes.
No.
7 Curious Cats has responded to that. I've accidentally done that once when deep in thought, visiting another branch of my usual pharmacy, walked in at the out entrance of the semi-roped off, clearly arrowed and marked streamline, and went up to the open pharmacist at the end. They just finished with someone, so I just saw the open counter. As I got there, I saw some people out of the corner of my eye on the other end, and my computation went, strange. Why is there a bunch of people standing to the wall for no reason? And that's when it clicked. I apologized and joined the back of the line. LOL.
That, cognitive, wait, what's going on? Wait, why are they there? Why am I here? Oh, I fucked up.
So, I have a non-retail but related story about awareness.
Please do.
And that's why I was talking earlier about, you don't know where someone is, you don't know if they're, paying attention, you don't know where their head is at. So, I'd gone to see a Paramore concert with a few of my friends, and I was, leaving with one. We had both been given a ride by Eddie, who was picking us up that night. Because we're like, man, I don't want to park at the Hard Rock. We can just, have the Eddie Uber service. So,
the wonderful Lord Eddie.
He's great. He takes us to our Pitbull concerts.
That he do. He's not taking us to this one.
No, it's too far away. We got to give the night a break sometimes. So, I'm texting Eddie. And, we find out where he is, and we go to the meeting spot. And when we get there, Eddie's in my car, so I recognize it right away. But I see a panicked look in his face.
No.
Because at the door is a kid texting and waiting for the door to open. He thinks it's his ride. Across the way, I see an identical car to mine. And two, a woman driving and a teen girl standing outside staring across the way at us with her mouth open and her arms out the fuck is he doing?
He's not paying attention is what he's not doing.
But he's just knocking on the window and waiting for the door to open, and Eddie makes eye contact. He's like, help me, I don't know what to do. So
your poor man.
So my friend and I walk up and I'm like, hey, you can ride with us, kid, but you gotta tell us where you're going. And he looks at us. And I see that horror dawn on his face of, oh shit, I'm at the wrong car. And he books it across the way to where the other car has been waiting for him. And I look at the girl who's still standing outside. And I wave to her. I'm like, hey, I promise we're not trying to kidnap him.
If he gets kidnapped, it's on him.
Oh, girl. No, because this lives rent-free in my head. And it's going to for the rest of my life. Because she says, in the deepest voice possible, You could have a stupid ass. I'm like, that is either your sister or your girlfriend. There are no other possibilities, dog.
My money is on sister.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, awareness. It is your friend. You exist in a world with others. Please be aware of your surroundings. And with that, I pass the next tale from retail to you.
All right, gals and ghoulies. Our OP is called You Don't _know me 00. The title of our story is Two little girls bonded over wanting the same out-of-stock baby doll and left as best friends. It was such a hilarious and heartwarming moment at my toy shop today. I had two little girls come in with their mothers almost at the exact same time, both looking to buy baby dolls. They went through all the options we had on display and both said the same thing. It's not here. I was confused because we stock some of the best quality baby dolls you can find in the area. We receive shipments directly from trusted suppliers, sometimes ordering from Alibaba. So it's pretty rare to come across the exact same doll we carry at another local toy shop. The girls took their moms outside and pointed to our front billboard display. They said they wanted those kinds, specifically. Unfortunately, those particular dolls were already completely out of stock. They were based on a popular cartoon character, so I totally understood why the girls were so obsessed with them to the point of tears. It took a lot of gentle convincing from both mothers and from me to redirect them towards other beautiful dolls we had available. But what was truly mind-blowing was that both girls, who didn't even know each other before walking into the shop, felt exactly the same way about that specific doll. Right then and there, something sweet happened. The two girls bonded over their shared disappointment and love for that character. They started talking, comparing which episodes they've watched, which other toys they had at home. By the time they left, they were holding hands and had become instant friends. Even the mothers exchanged numbers so the girls could have playdates. They didn't get the doll they wanted, but they got something better. A new friend.
Wait. So you're telling me the real dolls were the friends we made along the way?
The real dolls were the friends we made along the way.
Yay!
It's the same way I was not gifted to you and Eddie, but was introduced to you and Eddie by someone.
Yes, someone.
And we all had like, ooh, is it good intentions? I was questioning her intentions. I know you guys were too. And then we clicked and we're like, oh, awesome.
Well, I liken us meeting to like cats at the first time. We're just kind of like arched a little back, sniff each other out, maybe be in a different room for a minute. But then once we like each other, we get to cuddling and grooming each other on the cat tree.
I'll still hiss.
I mean, of course, we're cats after all.
We'll be questioned, are they sisters or are they gay lovers?
If you're doing it right, you'll never know. It works that way in Crusader Kings as well.
So we do have a few comments. Born_lever_puller. Kids make friends so easily. It's great when those friendships last. In response to Dandelion Dreams, I recently made a new friend at work and it instantly reminded me of being a kid. It's been so long since this kind of connection felt so natural. It's one of the best feelings, really. Then we have Ravi Overlord. Yeah, nah, this seems like AI. Not only because you said high quality and buying from Alibaba, which isn't really a thing that exists because most of all Ali sites are knockoff cheap versions of products. No way would you call on quality or sell a non-branded item that supposedly was a licensed character, but really just that was enough of a red flag.
Oof, Disney. We got Sherlock Holmes in the comment section.
That we do. Oh, almost all the other comments are agreeing.
Oof, yeah. I mean, look, I'm not saying he's wrong, but to quote the Big Lebowski, you're not wrong, Walter, you're just an asshole.
I'm amazed the mods haven't even, marked it for AI, possibly.
But, how jaded do we have to be that any nice, wholesome story has to be AI?
I think the main evidence is the fact that they said Alibaba.
And to be fair, that's sketchy as fuck, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly. I questioned it in my head too. I'm like, when I read Alibaba, I'm like, wait. Alibaba's not for that.
A lot of other things, but not for that.
Yes. So, Lady Mel, on to your next story.
All right, my next tale from retail is submitted from user Shadow Crescent, but the A and the O in Shadow are a 4 and a 0 because Shadow Crescent, much like your yapper right now, probably grew up with AIM. That's America Online Instant Messenger, and let's just say there is a generation of millennials that really like putting numbers where letters should go. It is a thing. I'm looking at that, I'm like, oh man. I remember. I can still hear the notification sounds to this day. Anyway, user Shadow Crescent has submitted, customer insisted our store had to refund an item from a different location because, quote, it's all the same company.
No, it ain't.
I work in retail at a chain store that sells basic home stuff. Seasonal junk, cleaning supplies, little kitchen things, that kind of place. A few days ago, I was covering the front register when a guy came in holding a plastic bag and a receipt already crumpled in his fist, like he had been mad about this for a while before he even got to me. He dropped the boxed appliance on the counter and said he wanted a refund because, and I quote, it stopped working almost immediately. I did the normal script, asked if anything was wrong with the item, checked the receipt, and noticed right away the receipt was from a different location. Same chain, yes, but not our store. Our location number wasn't on it. The register number wasn't ours, and the item sticker had that other store's code on it too. So I explained that returns from another location had to be handled there, or through customer service if he didn't want to drive back. He instantly got irritated and said that was ridiculous because we are, quote, literally the same store. I told him, same company, yes, but separate inventory and separate tills, and our system wouldn't process it here without overwriting half the return steps. He cut me off and said I was making it up because I, quote, didn't feel like doing paperwork. Then he started pointing at the logo on the receipt and the logo above my head like that was some brilliant legal argument nobody had ever considered before. I tried once more, very calmly, and even showed him where the location number was printed on the receipt. He said customers should not have to care about, quote, internal nonsense, and repeated that if he bought from the company, then the company should take it back anywhere, which in theory sounds nice. In practice, the register still actually has to do the thing. At that point, my supervisor came over because he had raised his voice enough for half the front end to hear him. My supervisor told him the exact same thing I had just said, only with that magical manager flavor that customers suddenly respect. The guy got quieter, but now he wanted us to call the other location, authorize the return, and just give him cash anyway. Supervisor said no, but offered to circle the phone number on the receipt and explained their return desk could handle it quickly if you went there with the item and packaging. He stood there for a few seconds like he was waiting for reality to change, then grabbed the box and said customer service everywhere is dead now. Before leaving, he looked at me and said I had been unhelpful from the start, even though I had told him the same thing my supervisor did almost word for word. He left in a huff, still carrying the bag like it had personally betrayed him. Nothing dramatic happened after that, but it was one of those shifts where you spend 10 minutes being treated like the physical embodiment of corporate policy just because the register won't bend to someone's feelings. Stuff like this isn't rare, but the confidence some people have while being completely wrong still gets me.
Sir, you're in the wrong store. Right brand, wrong store.
Mm-hmm. So we're moving on to the comment section, and it's already getting a little spicy because we have Sidrel writing, a lot of chains let you do returns to any location, so I don't think this was an unreasonable ask, TBH. Sheriff Hectate responds, agreed. His reasoning was valid. Attitude, not so much.
You know what? That is true. Like, the attitude, I think, is what's getting to me. Because I have bought an item from, like, let's say, the Target here. And then I've returned it at a different Target. And they've allowed it. But I'm guessing it's because they sell the same product, yet it's a different inventory system. But legitimately, I think what they do is, like, to avoid, and since I wasn't asking for cash back, I was just like, just put it in a gift card because I'm just going to do an exchange either way.
ThickBad3089 responds as well. A lot, but a lot don't as well. A franchise, for example, you gotta accept the inconvenience and first world problem with grace, not throw some tantrum and demand they change the system for your indolent ass. Just return it to the designated store. Alrighty, and I think, yeah, it is interesting how many of these comments are agreeing with the customer.
Because that is still, even in Walmarts, they'll accept and they'll do the same thing. So like you have to be like, let's say a chain that is a Home Goods with a Michaels, and then you just go to a Home Goods, but you bought it at a Home Goods Michaels store. You're still at a Home Goods. They will not take it because it has the Michaels and Home Goods.
You're saying that, and I'm hearing the words, but I'm also being like, I'm at the Michaels. I'm at the Home Goods. I'm at the combination Michaels Home Goods.
You know what? I actually like that song.
I'm at the Pizza Hut. I'm at the Silent Hill. I'm at the combination Pizza Hut and Silent Hill. Oh God, fog. Fog and my worst nightmares. We'll see that this Pizza Hut doesn't have a Taco Bell in it. All right. Anyhow, that's enough from me. Jess, enlighten us with more tales from retail.
Our next story from Tales from Retail comes from Headphones All Night. Can you just give me the discount because I feel like it? I work at a mid-range retail store that sells a mix of home stuff and random gifty items. Think shelves of candles, mugs, little gadgets, and seasonal junk people swear they need.
This feels like a Home Goods to me.
Oh fuck yeah, it feels like a Home Goods.
We have been on enough Home Goods adventures to feel like this is absolutely a Home Goods. But is it a combination Home Goods, Michaels?
We will fucking find out. That reminds me, we need to go on another Home Goods.
It's my birthday coming up, yes.
That's right, it is. Most days are normal. Someone can't find a size. Someone wants to return without a receipt. Someone asks if they have the one they saw online, but with zero details. You know, retail. This happened on a slow afternoon when the store was empty enough that you can hear the music loop back around. A guy comes in, maybe late 30s. Oh God, fucking late 30s.
What? What did we do?
I'm not talking about you.
All I'm saying is I resemble that remark.
No, I'm crying over the fact that I wish I was closer to you in age, but it's also the fact that late 30s is where we're both heading.
Mm-hmm. Girl, I am literally pushing 40.
Not in my heart, you're not.
Aww.
Dressed like he's going to a casual dinner, but also like he might argue with a parking meter. That's very specific.
Oh God, brother ill. I think I've met that guy, and he is absolutely going to argue with the parking meter.
He grabs one of those little countertop humidifiers we sell. Not expensive, but not cheap. And then he does the thing where the customer makes a beeline to you like you're a help desk, not a human. He puts it on the counter and goes, "So what's the discount on this?" I'm already bracing because it's not on promo. There's no sticker, nothing. I say, "It's the price on the tag, but we do have a loyalty coupon sometimes if you signed up." He leans in like I just said something insulting. No. Like, what's the discount you can give me? I do the polite smile. I can't just discount it unless it's damaged or there's a current sale. He points at the humidifier like it's personally betrayed him. It's damaged. It was sealed in a box. No dents, no torn corners, no weird tape, just a box. I picked it up, turned it around. What makes you think it's damaged? He shrugs. Because it's the last one on the shelf. I actually pause. Because I thought he was joking. Like, maybe this is his little bit. But his face was dead serious. Almost offended that I wasn't immediately agreeing. I say, being the last one doesn't mean it's damaged. It just means it's the last one.
Bro, I'm writing an entire backstory for this man in my head right now. Because first of all, I think he needs therapy. I think he's projecting. Because it's like, okay, so if you're in your late 30s and singles and you've been, and you're the last one and you haven't been picked up, does that mean you're damaged, sir? I think you are projecting on this humidifier. You need help.
And that's actually a really nice quote that OP may have accidentally said to the man, and very inspirational. Like, OP, if you ever hear this, can we please use it? in like a mug or something?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You know, being the last one doesn't mean you're damaged. It just means you're the last one. Like, fucking bars, man.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. He does this big sigh. Like I'm the unreasonable one here. Okay, but it's been handled by other people. People touch it. So it's not new. I'm thinking, buddy, you are currently touching it. I keep it simple. It's still new. It's unopened, and it's from our regular stock. Taps the counter with one finger, slow and dramatic. So, you're saying you can't do anything for me? I can help you sign up for the loyalty thing I offered, because I'm trying to give him an exit ramp. Or you can check our app for coupons. He waves that away. No. I shouldn't have to do extra steps. Like, just take 10 off. It's not hard. And here's where the conversation goes from mildly annoying to fully surreal.
Wait, so it wasn't surreal already? Like this feels pretty surreal. I would be looking for Ashton Kutcher asking if I'm punked right now.
This is the most surreal you can get. It's almost like you're in a surreal painting. He says, I drove all the way here. We're in a normal shopping plaza. It's not remote. I say, okay, but the price is still the price. He stares at me like I'm failing a morality test. You don't understand. I used gas. Gas is expensive. So it would make sense for you to balance that out. I'm trying to keep my face neutral, but I can feel my brain rebooting. I feel like I should add the little AOL connecting.
That's how you can tell I'm a real millennial. Back in our day, we had to have the internet scream at us to go on it, and not the other way around.
We don't have a policy for reimbursing travel. He laughs, short and sharp. Oh, I didn't mess up that sharp.
Hey! Sharp indeed.
So you're just gonna punish customers for coming to your store? I say, no, I'm just following the pricing. Now he switches tactics. He lowers his voice and goes, okay, but what if I buy two things? Then you can discount one, right? No, it doesn't work like that unless there's a deal. He lifts his hands a little like a magician about to reveal a trick. What if I promise to come back? I say, we can't do discounts based on promises. He's getting frustrated now. And he does that thing where they look around like they're expecting a crowd to back them up. Still basically empty store. He says, this is why people shop online. They take care of you online. I almost said, then do that. But I'm not trying to get written up. Instead, I say, I understand. Online does have different promos sometimes. He holds up the box, squints at it, like maybe the discount is printed in invisible ink. So, you're telling me there's no way you can help me out. At this point, I'm like, okay, just end it. No, I can't change the price. He puts the humidifier down very gently, like it's fragile. Then he says, all right, then I can get a discount on something else. I blink. On what? He points at the candy display by the register. Those, because I had to stand here and waste my time. I swear, I felt my soul leave my body for a second. I say, no, man. We don't discount candy for waiting. He frowns and goes, there's no customer service. I just go, sorry. And then he hits me with the line that still makes me laugh when I think about it. He says, okay, so you're gonna make me leave here empty-handed? Like I was holding him hostage. Like he's a victim of the system. He grabs his keys, does one last dramatic sigh, and walks out without buying anything, still muttering about how businesses don't appreciate people anymore. 5 minutes later, another customer comes in, buys that same humidifier, full price, doesn't say a single word besides, thanks. I wanted to frame that receipt.
That was harrowing. Oh my god. The lion, the witch, and the audacity of this bitch.
The audacity is so fucking high. So we got a few commenters. Gabe Snake 2 says, "What a genius. I'm sure he tried that same line at the gas station. But I had to drive here, all the way here to buy your gas. Can't you give it to me for free for no reason?" Gervandans responds, "I love this logic. So I flew there from London. Should they reimburse me for my airfare? Because if that's the case, I have a plan."
Oh man, as someone trying to plan a trip to London in the near future, I wish that's how it worked, but it doesn't.
Then we have a commenter, Pierogi Tire Biter. "I can give you 10% off, but in order to do that, I have to charge you an extra 20% to cover the discount processing fee." Targeted average 1. I can already see the confusion on that customer's face. Lol. DJ Mermaid on the mic.
Yeah, I love that username, by the way.
Their username is awesome. "I used to have a mom and pop business. People were constantly bugging us for discounts. I wanted to impose a surcharge for asking for a discount, but my partner would not go along with it, even though I said we could always waive it the first time."
Ooh, but see, that's the thing. Like, wait, so did they work it or did they own it?
I think they owned it, but like they just say they worked on it because they no longer have it. They probably left it to their partner.
Fair enough. So yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like, when you are in like a smaller business, a mom and pop, and not like a franchise or beholden to other corporate rules, you can do that kind of shit. But corporate is corporate, and indie is indie.
So those are all of the comments I'm looking through, Mel. What is your story?
All right, I do dare say I have at least one more tale from retail, and that is by user soft_newt_9. Sir, that's not a 0. And other things I didn't think I'd have to say out loud at work. I work at a mid-sized retail chain that sells a bit of everything, but the front end is mostly returns, online pickups, and people insisting the app is broken because they can't remember their own password. Oh, I am sighing deeply in my day job right now. This happened last weekend during the after-lunch rush, when the line is long and everyone is already annoyed at the concept of waiting. A guy in his 50s comes up with a small box of fancy printer ink and slaps it on the counter like it personally offended him. He says he needs a refund because it doesn't fit. And when I ask for the receipt, he proudly holds up his phone with a screenshot and says, "I have the code." Cool, no problem. Except the screenshot is a blurry zoom of an order number where half the characters are cut off. I ask if he can pull up the full email so I can scan the barcode, and he gets this wounded look like I've asked him to solve a math problem. He starts reading the number to me very slowly, like I'm the one struggling. It's something like 80107B, but he keeps saying 80107B. I repeat it back and ask, "Is that an O or a 0? And he snaps, "It's a 0, obviously. It's a number." I try it. System says invalid. I try it again. Same. He leans closer and says louder, 0. Like 0, not a letter. Why would it be a letter? The line behind him is doing that shuffle where people pretend they aren't listening, but they are, totally. I keep my voice calm and say, "Sometimes order codes have letters. Can you tap the order and show me the barcode?" He sighs, like I'm wasting his valuable time, then scrolls dramatically and shows me the same screenshot again, just bigger now. That's when I see it clearly. It's not a 0. It's the letter O, twice, and the font just makes it look round. I point at it and say as gently as I can, "I think those are O's, not 0s. He goes red and says, "No, I typed it. I know what I typed." So I do the only thing that works with this type of customer. I turn my screen slightly and say, "Okay, can you type it in for me then?" I hand him the scanner keyboard and he pecks at it like it's contaminated, still muttering. He types in 80107B with 0s. Hits enter. Invalid. He stares at it, then at me, then at his phone like it betrayed him. I don't say anything, I just wait, because sometimes silence is the safest customer service tool. He squints at a screenshot again, and I watch his brain do the slow, painful recalculation. Finally, he says, very quietly, "Fine, put O. I type it with O's. It pulls up instantly, and of course the return goes through. Instead of being relieved, he pivots straight into blaming our system, saying we should make it clearer and not use confusing fonts because it's basically a trick. I just nodded and said, I'll pass that along because what else do you do? When I handed him the refund slip, he snatched it, and then right before walking away, he said, not looking at me, you could have told me sooner. Like I didn't try. Like I wasn't telling him the entire time. The next person in line stepped up and whispered, for what it's worth, it was totally a no. And I laughed a little harder than I meant to.
Of course. It's always the ones where like, I'm right, gets proven wrong. I'm still right, it was you.
Like they can't handle it. The ego's too fragile. Like they cannot grapple that they were mistaken about something. It's super sad, honestly. So we've got commentary. Starker, this time the E is replaced with a 3, writes, on one hand, sometimes it really is hard to make a distinction between 0 and O, especially if there isn't a way to compare. On the other, this guy definitely bought the wrong toner and instead of taking it like an adult, threw a fit and wasted everyone's time because he was embarrassed twice over. Yeah, buddy, that feels accurate. Let's see, what else we got here in the commentary? Oh, Wolfboy1988M writes, things like this is why I put slashes in my zeros when I write. Same, honestly. Yeah. Oh, Voice of Software. Love that. Responds, back in the 90s, I designed a serial number generator that purposely made it as easy as possible to read them over the phone without ambiguity. It never allowed zeros or O's and removed all letters of the alphabet that sounded similar when read over the phone. That is smart. Hope you patented that.
That is super smart and really, really like helpful and convenient for people that, oh my God, not the mute community, Jessica, the blind community.
And let's see, I posted this. Oh, this is 706 Union, right? I posted this just 2 days ago, but this reminded me of the following as well. I used to do telephone support and always made a habit of saying 0 for the number instead of O. Once I had a customer ask me if I meant the number 0 or the letter 0. Letter 0? So much for trying to be clear. If you make something idiot-proof, someone will just make a better idiot. Time explanation 1212 is one of us. When I'm in line and something like this happens, I'm very attentive. I like a show and I'm not going to hide it.
Fuck yeah!
Yes, Ghoulie Spill. And speaking of, I believe it is your story next.
That it is. We are on the last story of our
Tales from Retail.
This is actually from Deleted. So OP removed themselves.
Ooh, boy, that good, huh?
Customer thought she got a bargain. She did not. I had a woman return a pair of shoes she got on Black Friday. I don't remember the numbers, so I'll make some up to give you an understanding. The total on the receipt was $60 for 2 pairs of shoes. This woman was mad that she paid $60 for the shoes when the ones she was bringing back were on sale for $50. I tried to explain that she had 2 pairs of shoes on the receipt, not 1 pair. I highlighted the 2 different product numbers. She did not believe me. I even brought the manager. She did not believe the manager. I returned the shoes she bought for $30 and resold them to her for $50. She thought she really pulled the wool over her eyes with this. She was so smug about it. All I could do was laugh.
Ooh, man, this is why it is important to pay attention in your math classes when they're going over percentages and discounts.
That's true. This is also comprehension.
That is very true.
We have Lady Zanak. Hopefully I'm saying that right.
Believe in you.
Thank you. The year I turned 25, I said, I can't believe I'm turning a quarter of a century old. This woman I worked with said, how do you know you will live to be 100? I tried to explain to her that it didn't matter whether I lived to be 100 or not. That 25 years old was still a quarter of a century old. But no matter how much I explained it to her, she absolutely could not grasp it. I finally gave up and just conceded that no, I didn't know if I would live to be 100 because she could not grasp the concept.
Oh, baby girl, a quarter is always going to be a quarter of a dollar, you know what I mean? But I'm sure she tried to explain it that way, too.
I think she did. We have Throwaway 4 now, 2022. My uncle used to say, you're smarter than the average bear, but just remember, the average bear is dumber than a box of rocks. The proof is in that tale. That is hilariously funny and sad all at the same time.
I like that is going into a segue of bear comments. Like, a U.S. park ranger was once asked why the bear-resistant trash cans weren't made harder to get into. Her response was that there is a large overlap in intelligence between the smartest bears and the dumbest tourists.
Oh my gosh. Yup, you are completely... It goes up for more. There are 37 replies.
People are choosing the bear, Jess.
They are choosing the bear, but they don't realize we're the bear in the forest.
Ooh, and sometimes the bear chooses you.
No, sometimes the bear's trying to run away from us.
Ah!
Opposite story. As a child, my mom told me to turn the stove down at a quarter after. It burned a little since I waited until 25 after. Thankfully, she just laughed.
To be fair, she had the right idea. She had the right idea, 25 and quarter. But also, turn down for what? Man, the music video director of that is an Oscar winner now.
So that comes an end to our tales. So now the main issue, or not the issue, is retail is its own hell. And when we tell the younger generation, oh, you should just go into retail so you get experience, I believe some people that are in higher positions should also have joined retail so they understand what the hell they're dealing with.
Now, I've worked more than a few different jobs. I've yet to work retail itself. Now, I've done a lot of customer-facing jobs, through performance and acting and working with the public, but I feel like there's an element missing from that to retail, because with retail, you're working some pretty thankless hours a lot of the time, because a lot of retail functions when people have time to shop, and people usually don't have time to shop during the quote-unquote regular workday.
Oh yeah, and back when Walmart was 24 hours before COVID, I would have people show up at 3 or 4 in the morning to do their shopping. And I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of wish Walmart was still open 24 hours to the public, because at 3 and 4 in the morning, there is no one. Everything is now restocked because the people restocking actually have time to restock. There's no one taking, and they're not being asked to do things. It's super calm and you get out super fast.
Oh, that's legit. And I do have a friend who works at Michael's, and if we ever do another Tales from Retail, we have to have her on as a guest, because she's got stories. Not the least of which is people arranging the letters to make really naughty things. I will walk by when I visit her on shift, I'll be like, that shouldn't say penis, and I just move things around. There, spine, you're welcome.
It's a word.
It is. And because I know how to rearrange letters all anagrammatically, I know that penis and spine can kind of make the same thing. They're both pretty hard and upright if you're doing it right.
So that brings an end to our tales of retail.
Ooh, spooky. Where are we off to next? Are we back in Florida?
We are not.
What? We're leaving Florida again? Oh my goodness, you can actually make it out of the state this time.
We are going to dun 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 Alabama.
Oh my goodness, sweet home Alabama. Down, 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 where the skies are so blue. Down, 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 sweet home Alabama. Down, 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 Lord, I'm coming home to you.
Remember, you always keep your family close, but your cousins closer.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and okay. Yeah, no, I'm not going to Crusader Kings this. I am not going to Crusader Kings this. Okay, yes, I am. Reverse cowgirl is not a position you do in Alabama, because you do not turn your back on family.
Once again, we are making jokes. We do not condone incest or the fact you take drugs.
No, not at all. We are here to just share the stories, not actually, recommend them.
So yes, for next episode, we will be going down to Alabama and learning about a mysterious oak tree. Thank you for joining us on
Where the Ghoulies Spill the Tea. Sip, sip.
Thank you for staying after the show. Please enjoy your bloopers, and we'll be seeing you next Wednesday. Welcome back, gals and ghouls. Oh my fucking god.
Oh, you guys. This is maybe we shouldn't have the wine before we do this.
I think I agree with you. I shouldn't have the wine. Welcome back, gals and ghouls, to our beautiful Wednesday. It's not Wednesday, it's Friday.
Girl, we might have fucked up drinking this wine.
I am more of a lightweight than I expected. Third time's the try.
Third time's the charm, baby.
Because this time our tales from the internet is actually tales from retail.
Ooh, some of the most horrifying topics of all.
Have you ever worked retail?
Aren't we supposed to do an intro?
That is our intro.
Oh, not about like the whole where the ghoulies built. Oh, sort of taking time. My stream of consciousness is streaming.
It's the wine!
It's the wine.
It's because usually we start talking and then we'll do the intro of the ghoulies. But this one I just started us off with gals and ghoulies.
Fair enough. Understandable. Okay, so we can retake some of that.
It took a lot of gentle convincing from both mothers and from me to try. It's the wine.
We may have learned that recording after wine is either the best or worst idea. We'll find out in post.
We will. A
few days ago, I was covering the front register when a guy came in holding a plastic bag and a receipt already crumpled in his face. Ooh! God, I just face hugged myself right now. I'm going to restart. And repeated that if he brought from the company... Oh, sorry. Thick Bad 3089 responds as well. A lot like... Okay, so Thick Bad. I'm going to restart that. Thicky, bad with the thickness. Down with the thickness even. Okay.
He leans in.